Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Unboxed. So glad that you're joining us today. All right, we want to talk about integrity, but more specifically, we want to delve into the guiding principles that every leader should have. I want to do a series for the next several days. We're going to talk about the guiding principles that every leader should have. All right. So far we have learned that emotionally mature leaders are self-differentiated. In other words, they're able to say, "This is who I am." Emotionally mature leaders are principle oriented. In other words, they're able to say, "This is what I believe." And emotionally mature leaders are goal directed. In other words, they are able to say, "This is what I believe." So, for the next several times that we're together, I want us to explore five principles or guiding principles or belief statements that I believe that every authentic leader should live by. As I shared on many occasions over the past several weeks, authentic leaders are clear about what they believe and they are intentional about living out this belief. I want to go back to that statement that I've read a few times as well. This is from Roberta M. Gilbert, Extraordinary Relationships, page 117. And this is where she says, "A life lived according to the principles of a thought out inner guidance system has an entirely different quality, course, and outcome than a life lived according to principles implicitly or explicitly set by one's environment." In other words, the effort that we make towards emotional maturity frees us from trying to be what one thinks or others want us to be. Yet it allows us to remain in open contact with significant others. Man, that's a very powerful statement. Leaders who are not clear about what they believe in their guiding principles will have other people, other organizations, or relationships develop these beliefs and principles for them. And the reason that this is not a good place is because this gives others too much control over us. But the more that we can guide our life based on our principles and our beliefs, the more that we can have a more emotionally calm, a less anxious, a more rational and authentic leadership that will guide us. So today we're going to unbox the leader's guiding principle of integrity. Stick around. I'm Dr. Robert Davis, family life educator and relationship coach, and welcome to Unboxed, a frank and straightforward conversation about relationships. We're going to talk about family, church, workplace, and all other types of relationships. Join me for the next few moments as we unbox the power and potential of relationships and help you to live your best life. Because I've dealt with this issue of integrity. As a matter of fact, before we get started, please make sure that you like, subscribe, and share. If you're listening to this podcast, please check out our website. It's www.swg-unboxed.org. Again, that's www.swg-unboxed.org. All right. So the one that I want to talk about today is one that I've already kind of dealt with before. So I want to share a few other things just to kind of set the context again. So I want to repeat what I just shared before we had the intro. And that is leaders who are not clear about what they believe and their guiding principles will inevitably, I mean, it's just natural. They will inevitably have other people, other organizations, and relationships develop these beliefs and principles for us. You remember when Wells Fargo, you had employees who were not making that much money, who began to forge people's signatures and to open up accounts for them. You see, when you don't have guiding principles, then others can take though can set other relationships, other organizations can begin to set those guiding principles for you. And a classic example of leaders who are controlled by the environment or the relationships or the organizations rather than their own internal beliefs and their own internal guiding principles is recent events that we've seen in the news around police officers. And we've seen an awful lot. We've seen the murder of unarmed, innocent and unarmed people. We have seen violent police brutality. I'll never forget the elderly man who was having a stroke and the police officers pepper sprayed him. But I think one of the most one that really sticks out in our mind to talk about how organizations and others will kind of set your guiding principles and your beliefs for you is what took place around this time last year in June of 2020 in Loveland, Colorado. There was a 73-year-old woman with dementia who was walking down the street, and some employees from Walmart thought that she was trying to steal. She was contacted by a police officer. You can look this up. You can Google it, 73-year-old woman with dementia. And the police officer who arrested her, he dislocated her shoulder, he fractured her arm, and he sprained her wrist. Now that's bad in and of itself. But then if you continue to watch the video, they go back to the station and several officers are watching the video and they're laughing. And you can see, particularly with the female officer, she felt very uncomfortable. But because she did not have a set of her own guiding principles in that situation, though she had a little sense of uncomfortableness, she still chuckled and she still chimed in with the other officer who was actually bragging about how he snapped the woman's arm out of place and even told them, listen, here it comes, so that they could hear her arm being broken. You see, we do not want to allow environment, circumstances, or situations to determine the integrity, the internal guiding principles of who we are. And so I want to start off today with the one that I really believe is vitally important and that every authentic leader has to live by. If not, again, you're going to allow the organization, you're going to allow relationships, you're going to allow circumstances and environments to determine who you are. And that's the one that is integrity. And I've been talking about this a lot, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it today. I think the issue of integrity is well worn out. Unfortunately, a lot of people play it fast and loose. But an authentic leader doesn't play it fast and loose. An authentic leader is actually genuine and honest. You can trust what they say. You don't have to get an attorney to try to decipher what they're trying to say. And I've actually seen, especially, some older individuals, and unfortunately, I've seen older ministers who pride themselves on being able to word things in such a way in various meetings or when in business dealings, they're able to word things in such a way that they can wiggle out of obligations and responsibilities. And this is very sad for a leader to have this type of thing. So I'm going to share with you, and I'm going to do this each day. I'm just going to share some of my own personal guiding principles and elaborate on them. But today you've heard me elaborate on it enough, so let me just share it with you. Who am I? I am an honest person. And I've told you this before. Now, don't mean I get it right every single time, but I really value being an honest person. This is one of my guiding principles. I am an honest person. What do I believe? I believe in the value of human dignity. I believe all my interactions should be transparent. They should be open and truthful. And even if the truth is, I don't want you to know certain information, or I'm choosing not to share with you, I'm truthful in that rather than sharing the part that puts me in the most favorable light, but rather being honest at all times. No, I'm not going to tell you that. No, I don't believe that's any of your business. That again, so though I said open and transparent, part of that is being transparent and shutting certain things down and saying, I'm not going to deal with that. I believe in being candid and sincere in all verbal and nonverbal communications. What is my goal? Since this is who I am and what I believe, what is my goal? My goal is to be clear, candid, sincere, and truthful in all my communications, whether it's with family, whether it's with friends, or whether it's in the workplace, or whether it's in any organization that I'm a part of. I will honor all commitments that I make, and my goal is to let my yes be yes and to let my no be no. That's who I want to be. I want to be a person of integrity, a person that's honest, a person that you can trust. It's amazing. Back in the day, you say you can trust that man right there. If he says something, he's going to do it. And I want that to be a part. And I believe that that's what every leader should have. Listen, our time has run out. We're going to pick up on some other ones going forward this week. Don't miss a single episode. So glad you came to join us. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share, and check us out. Take care.
Seasoned with Grace, Unboxed also provides healthy relationship training and leadership development for businesses, churches, and community organizations. For a free consultation to discuss your team's needs, please contact us at our website at swg-unboxed.org. That's swg-unboxed.org.